Yeah, no, throwing them all overboard today. Good evening, everyone. It's January 14th, 2026. I call the Park Authority meeting to order. We don't have a quorum quite yet, but we can read people in. The first item of the first committee meeting is info, so hopefully by the time we get through all of that, we've got our seventh member and can actually get started for today. So Virginia law authorizes remote participation of board members provided that a policy exists to ensure that such remote participation is consistently administered. This board has approved policy 111. Any such remote attendance must be approved by the board as long as the physical quorum of the board is actually present. Voices of the remote participants are able to be heard by everyone in the room, and remote participation comports with policy. First step here is to verify that the remote participant's voice is clear, audible, and at appropriate volume for the meeting room, and a confirmation of notification. We have two members joining us remotely tonight. And Abner, you're up first. Should you connect to this meeting remotely?
Abner Adu Houghton. I'm joining from my home in Franconia District.
Thank you very much. I move that Dr. Houghton's voice may be adequately heard from her location. I second. All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. And then Jonah, are you connected to this meeting remotely?
I am.
Please state your name for the record and where you're calling.
Jonah Toomey from my home in the Drainsville district.
Thank you. I move that Jonah Toomey's voice will be adequately heard from her location. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Carries. Second step is to verify the remote participant's physical absence comports with the policy. The motion pursuant to the Park Authority's policy 111 for remote participation in public meetings. Move that Abner Adu Houghton and Jonah Toomey may be permitted to participate remotely in this meeting because it comports with the policy we adopted. And a physical quorum doesn't exist yet. Right.
Right, we can't bring them in.
Yeah.
Right, I'm sorry.
All right, well, we can do we'll have to do step 2 next time. So you guys, just for the record, until we have a physical quorum in the room and I can do the second step of that, you guys cannot participate in the committee. So hold your questions until the seventh member of the board shows up. But with that, Linwood, I'll turn it over to you to get the planning.
I'd like to call the planning and development committee to approve it and immediately turn it over to Brendan.
Thank you, Linwood. Members of the board, Brendan Hannafin, the Development Division Director. Today, we're going to go over the FY26 project completion report for the first half of the year, July through December 2025. We did bring this back to you in the fall for the first quarter, but now we're going to 6-month iterations of this. So I just put those back in there so that we would have the full first 6 months of the year. I'll start with the Braddock District. I'm clicking it. I don't know how else.
I think it's not close enough to fire that one. Yeah. It's fine.
Thank you. Okay. Without further ado, the Braddock District. The Audubon Rec Center natatorium structural repairs. This was a pretty significant repair. As you know, we're moving on from this iteration of Audubon. The project included immediate structural repairs to the natatorium at the rec center. Scope work included installing scaffolding, demolishing the existing CME walls surrounding the corroded steel columns, installing and welding new steel columns, painting, masonry reconstruction, and other related tasks. Was funded by 2020 park bonds. A cost of just over $426,000. It was completed in September of 2025, and Mohammed Mahmoud was the project manager. Long Branch Stream Valley Park trail improvements. The project consisted of repaving 5,500 linear feet of trail within the Long Branch Stream Valley Park between Woodlawn Way and Wakefield Chapel Park. Renovation work included asphalt and concrete trail sections, new split rail fencing, bollards, and replacing 12 stormwater culverts on both the main and the side trails. Completing this restoration of the remaining trail section is this part of the Long Branch Stream Valley Park. It was funded by 2020 Park Bonds and Park General Capital Fund. Cost $283,000. Completed last summer by Ken Trent. Royal Lake improvements, Lake Point Dam Trail. This project consists of paving 200 linear feet. Trail near the Royal Dam, Lake Dam for Lake Point Drive, from Lake Point Drive to the Lower Circuit Trail. Due to heavy foot traffic and the steep grade, the hillside became unsafe for walking and caused maintenance and drainage issues due to erosion. A hard surface path from the top of the dam to the circuit trail helped eliminate these issues and provide a safe connection to the circuit trail around the lake. It was funded by ARPA funds and 2020 Park Bond funds. The cost was $42,000. It was completed this summer. And Beth Iannetta was the project manager. And then the overall Royal Lake project is still going on. So we will talk about that in upcoming meetings. Wakefield pickleball and tennis court improvements, a large-scale court reconfiguration project, which coordinated between the Park Development and Park Ops divisions. Scope of work included site work, court renovations and repairs, electrical work, and other related tasks. Included an addition of 6 new dedicated pickleball courts, converting 1 tennis court into 4 dedicated pickleball courts, and 2 dual-use courts will return to tennis-only play. The project also included resurfacing 3 basketball courts located behind the skate park. Wakefield now has 10 tennis courts, 8 pickleball courts, plus a practice area. So that's one of our biggest facilities. Park General Fund funded this. Cost was almost $699,000. It was completed in October. 2025, Sayonara was the PDD representative, and Marcos was from POD. So this was a project. Adam Wynn was our designer.
Brendan, I know initially there was some talk about converting one side or the other of the practice area. Did we keep both sides?
Sorry for.
There were, at one point, there was discussion of converting both.
We kept one
We only kept, that's what we ended up doing, was only keeping one side.
side. Okay.
Thank you.
At Wakefield, practice ball, there's only one side, right? Yeah.
Okay, the Franconia district. Franconia Rec Center, ESCO Phase 3 building improvements. This was the largest project we completed within the last 6 months. Scope of work included the replacement and upgrade of the building boilers, pool dehumidification units, building rooftop units, electrical transformer upgrade, pool exhaust benches, pool destratification fans, building automation controls, building envelope improvements, and water efficiency upgrades. So this was a major upgrade partially using the ESCO funds that we receive every year from the carryover, from ARPA funds, Park General Capital funds, and of course the county fiscal carryover, which is for energy efficiency projects. Project cost was $4.5 million. It's completed in October of this year, and Keith was the project manager. Honor Mill District, frying pan equestrian lighting upgrade, installation of new LED fixtures to increase the light levels for improved safety during equestrian events. Added a dimming system to provide flexibility for a range of light levels for special events. It's a much needed upgrade to the facility. We installed repurposed LED lights for the spectator, office, and pedestrian area, funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Cost just over $100,000. It's completed in December of this year, and Pat Tomlinson was our project manager. The Mason District, Green Springs Garden Moongate paving renovation. After construction of the Moongate wall in October of 2024, the second phase was initiated to replace the existing dilapidated garden paving, the new paving, and to introduce a new walkway through the Moongate opening to improve circulation and connect the garden to the adjacent pathway. It's a very popular area now, so we wanted to make sure that we clean that up a little bit more. It's funded by donations. Our project cost $155,000. Completed last summer, and Doug was the project manager and the designer. Mount Vernon District, Fairfax Arms Old Colchester pool demolition. This is exactly what it sounds like. We demolished the pool, prepared the house for the Fairfax Arms house for the new resident curator. The scope of work included demo of all concrete related to the pool, filling it and restoring the surrounding grounds. The project was funded with the Director's Emergency Fund. $32,500, completed summer of 2025. Pat was a project manager and the POD mobile crew was the contractor. Gristmill Field 5 turf replacement. The field reached its estimated useful life and was required to be resurfaced as part of our NCAS agreement for turf replacement plan from 2016 to 2033. 10-year replacement cycle for all synthetic turf fields. This was funded by that fund, $654,700. August of 2025, it was completed, and Doug and Wendy were the project managers. Laurel Hill Central Green Phase 2, our historic barrel bridge repair. Scope of work included replacing damaged bricks, moving and repairing deteriorated mortar, removing vegetation, cleaning the brick and mortar surfaces, installing a trench screen above the bridge, and performing related work. This was paid for with the Park General Capital Fund. $400,000 project, completed in September 2025. And Kelly was our project manager until she retired, and Mohammed finished up the project. Providence District. Eakin Community Park Site Improvements, Phase 3. We collaborated with the Eakin family to develop park improvements over 3 phases. First phase was completed in December 2023 with a parking lot replacement. The second phase was completed in 2024, the new pavilion. The third phase was included a natural stone veneer entry sign, wall, drainage improvements, and new landscape. Cost of this part of the project, Phase 3, was at $99,400. Donation was provided by the Eakin family. We've completed this in summer 2025, and Doug was the project manager and project designer. Springfield District. Greenbrier pickleball courts. Project included the construction of 5 new dedicated pickleball courts, fully enclosed with chain link fencing. New ADA parking spaces were added adjacent to the courts. The finished color top coat surface will be applied in early spring when weather permits. And our first comments were, we really like that, but could you finish painting it? But we ran out of weather. So we'll do that in the spring. Funded by the Park General Capital Fund, it's a small D. Project cost of $246,000, completed in October. Project manager was Doug, and the project designer was Adam. And we started this project in August. We raced to get it done before that, for obvious reasons. So we're really pleased with this project. And this was an old parking lot and an old basketball court turned into pickleball, so it didn't usurp any other use. Rolling Valley West Field 2 turf replacement. Part of the Neighborhood Community Services turf field replacement plan. Funded by that plan, cost $546,000. Completed in August of 2025 by Doug and Wendy. Notice all of our turf replacements happen in August because that's when fields are not being used. Soil District. Arrowhead Park, same as before. Fields 1 and 3 were replaced. $1.164 million, completed in August by Doug and Wendy. We also did the asphalt path connection to the park lots of fields because it was damaged during construction. So, Cover on Rec Center competition pool filter replacement. This project included the replacement of the competition pool filters at Cover on Rec Center. Scope of work included the demo of existing filters, installation of new filters, VFD panels, piping installation related work. It was funded by the 2016 Park Bond Fund to the tune of $400,000, completed in September by Melissa and Mohammed. This is not mine. So I believe we had 15 projects in the first quarter, or the first half of the year. Very pleased with that. But the second thing on the agenda for us was the work plan, but I can show you the old presentation, but we went over it in November, so this is for action, unless you see anything.
But this is information.
So this is for.
We're back to the second.
The second item is for actions.
Right.
And you can't.
So you're
I'll present this until later.
Rick told me he would be here by 6:30, so.
Okay. I texted both him and Mike and I've heard nothing. When does the next one start? 6:25. That's info, which is now.
So
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Let's keep this train moving forward. Oh.
Life saves a day.
Yeah, let's go back to, so pursuant to the Park Authority's policy 111, promote participation in public meetings. I move that Abena, A.U. Hewitt, and Jonah Toomey be permitted to participate remotely in this meeting because it conforms to the policy we adopted. The physical quorum is now present here at the Heritage Building on 106, 107. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Jonah and Abena, you now can participate. Item number 2.
It's you, right?
Do you want me to go with?
I want whoever is responsible for the
No,
second.
We're
item.
not going to the second meeting. We're staying-
No, yeah, sorry, the second item of the,
So Brendan, it's still you for the annual work plan.
Okay, so do you want to put that up, Allison?
And just point of clarification, this is the one we went over earlier, so you're just refreshing it, and then we're gonna vote on a consensus.
For clarification, we're not moving to the committee meeting, we're staying.
Correct.
Last minute, and now we
now we could
with
proceed.
an action right now.
Okay, back in November, we came to you with the FY 26 Park Development Division Work Plan. And I'll go through that really quickly here. General overview, this is based on the 2022 to 2026 CIP schedule approved by the Park Board in 2021. It reflects the continuation of active projects with schedules that extended to FY 26 and beyond, as well as projects that are scheduled to start FY 26. Bond bridge funded projects included to ensure 26 cash flow accommodation. This project list includes projects that are in scope, design, and construction. We also have a lot of other projects that are inactive or conceptual phase. So this is just the active projects. Planned future projects are not included in the document, but are in the database. We had 41 projects completed in 25. We went over this last time. Our 26 cash flow is $25 million. Our 27 cash flow forecasted for $30 million. And we are about at $10 million for the first quarter this year. Showed you these before. I did make some changes to the actual spreadsheet because there were some differences in matched year districts and things like that. So we cleaned it up, and that's in here. So your new one's in here. These are just a smattering of projects that are in construction.
You didn't clean it up completely, go back. Lake Fairfax is in Hunter Mill District.
Correct. Okay, did I change this one? I changed the next one. I apologize. So we did go back and we did work through the work plan. So what you have is updated from the November 12th meeting. It's just the 4 pages that we showed you earlier. If there's any questions, please let me know.
Being no questions, we have consensus to move this forward.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other business for the committee? Seeing none, I adjourn the committee. And roll right into the Parks Operation Committee. And give this switch. Thanks, House.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Kim Eckert, Division Director, Park Operations. So today we have some projects completed by Park Operations July through December of 2022. First up in the Braddock District. At Middle Ridge Park, we completed an athletic court renovation. So we had repaired some tennis court cracks and resurfaced the court. We installed some new nets. The practice ball was repaired and repainted. We added a new asphalt overlay. We color coded it and lined the new court. We installed new basketball goals and the courts were in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund at just over $76,000, completed in August 2025, and the project manager was Marcos Suarez. Again, at Middle Ridge, we completed some trail repaving there where we were doing the basketball court. So we repaved 495 linear feet of trail from the gravel parking lot to the edge of the woods, which then becomes natural surface trails. The trail was in D condition. This was funded by, again, the Park General Capital Fund, just over $17,000, and this was completed in August 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. At Rutherford Park, we completed a dugout installation. So we installed dugouts for both the home and away dugouts at Field 1. This was funded by Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $13,400, completed in October 2025, and the project manager was Mike Sines from Area 4. Again, at Rutherford Park, we completed an athletic court renovation. So we repaired some of the basketball court cracks and resurfaced the court. We color coded the court and lined the new court, installed new basketball goal systems, and the court was in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just over $21,000 was the cost. It was completed in October 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. In the Drainsville district, at Langley Fork Park, we completed an athletic court renovation. So we regraded the surface and added an asphalt overlay. We color coded and lined the new court, installed new basketball goals. The court was in D condition. This was funded by Park General Capital Fund. Just under $60,000 was the cost. We completed it in August 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. At Lewinsville Park, we completed some park improvements there, including a bollard replacement. So we replaced the old wooden bollards with new ones. We installed speed humps with signage to slow down drivers in a heavy traffic area there. The work was completed by our Area 1 staff and the mobile crew, so in-house. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just over $10,000 was the cost. Completed in October 2025, and the project manager was Anthony Leon, who is the area manager of Area 1. At Linway Terrace, we completed a 60-foot diamond field backstop upgrade. So we removed the old overhang backstop, installed new vertical backstop consistent with our standards. The backstop and fencing up to the dugouts was in D condition. So we funded that with Park General Capital Fund. Just over $16,000 was the cost. Completed in October 2025, and the project manager was a assistant area manager, Michael Harris, in Area 1. At Stanton Park, we did a little bit of a shelter refresh. It's just a sampling. We do this often. So we took the picnic shelter, had a little bit of peeling paint. It was in C condition. So we pressure washed the shelter and repainted, prepped the columns. This work was completed by Area 6. Park General Capital Fund was how it was funded. The cost was $2,500 for materials. Completed October 2025, and the project manager was Mario Martin Alciati from Area 6. At Turner Farm Park, we completed a trail restoration. The gravel trail from the shelter area to the horse arenas was in D condition. We restored the gravel trail and added new material. This work was completed in-house by Area 6, funded by Park General Capital Fund. Just over $7,000 was the cost for materials. We completed it in October 2025, and the project manager was again Mario. In the Franconia district, at Claremont Park, we completed an irrigation head conversion. We upgraded 129 irrigation heads on 4 different diamond fields to improve efficiency, water conservation, and coverage. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just under $24,000 was the cost. Completed July 2025, and the project manager was William Douglas, area manager from Area 3. At Franconia Rec Center, we completed a flooring replacement. So the main level was ceramic tile flooring. We replaced that with LVT, so vinyl flooring, plank flooring there. Ceramic tile was cracked and broken, just aged from over the years. This was funded by the Rec Center Wellness Fund. Just over $81,000, completed in November 2025, and the project manager was Russ Davis. Again, at Franconia Rec Center, we completed the entrance walkway replacement. So we demolished all the old concrete and entrance walkways into Franconia Rec Center and poured new concrete for both the entrance and the walkways. This was funded by the Rec Center Wellness Fund. Just over 31,000 was the cost, completed September 2025. And this was a project manager, Jeff Johnson, oversees all of our maintenance for our rec centers. Again, at Franconia Rec Center, we did some improvements there to the classroom ceiling. So we removed and replaced the ceiling tiles. I think we also did the grid. We replaced the light fixtures. The work was completed in 3 different classrooms by our facility support group in-house, funded by the Rec Center Wellness Fund. Just under $7,000 for materials, completed September 2025. And the project manager was from our facilities group, Jose Balta. At Groveton Heights Park, we completed a trail repaving. We repaved 671 linear feet of trail. The trail was in the trail was in C condition, funded by Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $23,500, completed in July 2025, and the project manager was Marco Suarez. At Jefferson Manor Park, we completed a diamond field upgrade to field number 1. So we installed new fencing, installed 2 new dugout benches, and 2 new 21-foot bleachers, installed new bases, home plate, and a pitching rubber. At the field, fence and backstop were in D condition. The bleachers and benches were in C condition. This was funded by proffer funding. The cost was just over $56,500, completed July 2025, and the project manager was the area manager, William Douglas, from Area 3. At Hunter Mill District, at Bear and Cameron Park, we completed an irrigation pump replacement. We replaced the irrigation pump and skid with a new 15 horsepower pump. The irrigation pump serves 3 different fields, 1 diamond and 2 rectangles. The pump was in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just under $68,000 was the cost, completed October 2025, and the project manager was Marco Suarez. At Lake Fairfax Park, we completed a retaining wall installation. So we took out the old timbers there, rotted timbers from some erosion. We installed 570 feet of linear new concrete retaining wall. The concrete replaced existing rotting wood, and the concrete is stamped to look like stone. This was funded by the sinking fund, just under $95,000, completed August 2025, and the project manager was Russ Davis. And this is just around the perimeter of Lake Fairfax. Again, Lake Fairfax Park, we completed a boardwalk restoration. So we completed the replacement of 690 feet of top rail there with Trex added to the top rail to increase the lifespan and the longevity of the railing. We replaced the pickets as needed, and the boardwalk decking was pressure washed. This was funded by the sinking fund. Just under $63,000 was the cost, completed August 2025, and the project manager was Russ Davis. The Mason District. At Bel Air Park, we completed trail repaving, repaved 178 linear feet of trail. This trail was in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $6,200, completed August 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. At Green Spring Gardens, we completed a step replacement. So we replaced the Seneca red sandstone steps at the entrance of the historic house. The steps had some cracking and deterioration. We completed this through our agreement with National Park Service for preservation of historic sites. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund, just under $89,000 to complete that work, completed October 2025, and the project manager was Russ Davis. At Justice Park, we completed a very, very needed athletic court renovation there. It was a full reconstruction. So it was completely reconstructed for 4 tennis courts. The courts were color-coded, lined. We installed new nets and a fence. The courts were in D condition before we did the reconstruction. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. $339,000 was the total for the reconstruction, completed September 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. Again, at Justice Park, we completed an irrigation pump replacement. We replaced the irrigation pump with a new, and the skid with a new 15 horsepower pump. The pump provides irrigation to 1 60-foot diamond field. The pump was in D condition. Funded by the Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $37,600, completed September 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. In the Mount Vernon District, at Laurel Hill, we completed some trail repaving. We repaved about a little over 1,500 linear feet there on the CCT near Bluebonnet Drive, Laurel Crest Drive, Bitterroot Court, and Paper Birch Drive. This is sort of a unique trail system. It's sort of intertwined with the HOA there. So it makes it a little bit more, adds a little bit more complexity with where we start. And then, of course, getting all the equipment in there behind the houses. So this was repaved and in D condition before we repaved this section. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just under $55,000 was the cost, completed August 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. At Pohick Estates Park, we completed an athletic court renovation. We regraded the surface and added a new asphalt overlay. We color coded and lined the court, installed new basketball goal systems. The court was in condition D, funded by Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $54,500, completed July 2025, and the project manager again was Marcos. At Vernon Heights Park, we completed some more trail repaving. So we repaved 588 linear feet of trail. This trail was in D condition before the repaving was done. This was funded by the General Capital Fund, just over $20,000, so $20,500, $20,600, completed October 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. In the Providence District, at Blake Lane Park, so we sort of regraded this whole dog park and resurfaced it. We converted the surface to stone dust. We added concrete pads and new benches. The work was completed in-house by our mobile crew, funded by proffer funding. $34,600 was the cost, completed August 2025, and the project manager was Olivier at Area 1, our area manager. At Dunloring Park, we completed an athletic court renovation. We completed some crack repairs and resurfaced both tennis courts over there, color-coded and lined the new courts. These courts were in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund, $35,800, completed September 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. Marcos is a busy guy. At Ike Mantua Park, on the Congressman Connolly Memorial Bench that we installed here. So we replaced the old wooden bench on the Cross County Trail with a concrete pad and memorial bench for Congressman Jerry Connolly. This work was completed in-house by Area 2, funded Park General Capital Fund. $4,200 was the cost for materials. We completed this in October 2025, and the project manager was Amber Stremel, the area manager at Area 2. At Nottoway Park, we completed some volleyball court renovations. We installed new sand, we installed new volleyball posts and nets. We removed the wooden border and timbers around the court. This court was in C condition before we did this improvement, funded by the Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $22,300, completed November 2025. And again, the project manager was Olivier Anteville at Area 1.
Kim, just out of curiosity, what serves as the border now?
So there is no border. So we removed it. There was old rebar sticking out of it. So there was really no real purpose to it. Super old, super aged, rotted.
So is that just what we're doing in general now?
Yeah, we have other volleyball courts that don't have borders for it. So we're just trying to bring everything up here to the same standard. At Oakmont Rec Center.
They playing, sorry, if they play in a rec, like at Frank, was that at Franconia? They play it.
That was at
When you play in rec, don't they usually bring the string?
I mean, straps that they,
Straps, like
yeah,
they would-
they can. They're like anchor straps that they can bring for like the court dimension.
That's usually.
At Oakmont Rec Center, we completed some locker room renovations. So we completed some upgrades in both men's and women's locker rooms. We replaced the shower stall tile, installed new shower systems, including heads, trim, and valves. We installed Trex boarding and towel hooks. This was funded by the Rec Center Wellness Fund. The cost was $57,600, completed October 2025. And the project manager was John Spicer with our facilities group. At Oakmont Park, we completed some trail repaving. We repaved 2,233 linear feet of trail, including the section from the GCC-CT from Germantown Road to Miller Road and the walkway from Germantown Road to the Rec Center entrance. This trail was in D condition. This is funded by the Park General Capital Fund. The cost was just over $78,000, completed September 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. In the Springfield District. At Deer Lick Park, we completed a parking lot and trail repaving project there. We repaved the entire parking lot as well as 60 or linear feet of trail while we were there. The trail was in D condition and the parking lot was in D condition. So we did both of them at the same time. Funded by the Park General Capital Fund, just over $48,000 was the cost, completed in August, and Marcos was the project manager. At Hidden Pond Park, we completed some more trail repaving. We repaved 688 linear feet of trail from the sidewalk to the pond, from the parking lot to the garage, and then from Park Newport to Greeley Boulevard. This trail was in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just over $24,000 was the cost. This project was completed September 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. At Rocky Run Stream Valley Park, we completed some trail repairs. This trail was graded. The trail shoulders were graded to manage water flow and minimize trail erosion. We widened the trail and removed brush along the trail edge. This trail was in C condition. The work was completed in-house by Area 5. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund, $1,500 for materials, completed September 2025, and the project manager was Walter Wesley, the area manager at Area 5. At South Run Park, we completed a diamond field backstop upgrade. We removed the overhang backstop at Field 1 and again installed a new vertical backstop consistent with our standards. This backstop was in D condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just over $23,000 was the cost. Completed August 2025, and the project manager was Mike Sines, the area manager at Area 4. In the Sully District, at Center Ridge North Park, we completed some playground improvements. We removed and replaced the timbers around the playground with new 340-foot border 6x6 timbers, replenished engineer wood fiber. Work completed was by Area 5, funded by the Park General Capital Fund. $2,500 was the cost for materials, completed September 2025. Project manager was Walter West. At Chalet Woods Park, we completed an athletic court renovation. We completed crack repairs and resurfaced both tennis courts at that site. We color coded and lined the new courts. We removed the pickleball lines. The court was in C condition. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. $31,460 was the cost, completed October 2025, and the project manager was Marcos. At Eleanor C. Lawrence Park, we completed a roof replacement. So we replaced the porch roof on the historic Middlegate house with new standing seam metal roof. The old roof was leaking and had wood rot at the attachment point to the house. This was funded by the Park General Capital Fund. Just over $13,000 was the cost. November 2025 was when the project was completed. The project manager was Russ Davis. At Frog Branch Stream Valley Park, we completed some trail repairs. We installed a 48-inch culvert pipe, added surge rocks at the inlet and the outlet. We repaved surface and tied it into the new existing trail. Into the existing trail, not the new existing trail. Work completed by Area 5 and mobile crew, funded by the Park General Capital Fund. The cost was $3,500 for materials. We completed August 2025, and the project manager was the area manager from Area 5, Walter Wesley. At the Sully Historic Site, we completed another roof replacement, replaced the roof on the historic schoolhouse building. The roof consists of cedar shakes, funded by Park General Capital Fund. Just over $13,000 was the cost, completed October 2025, and the project manager was Russ Davis. That's all we have today. Any questions? Yes.
All the trails, I thought, virtually all the trails we showed that were. You have anything worse in condition still in the system?
We have some Fs. We do have some Fs. We're actually going through that exercise now, where we're taking all of our Ds and Fs, and sort of working through what that percentage of our total inventory is. But yes, we do have.
Would be likely, will cost us more to renovate and have available for project. So it'd likely be a bond project or another trail, hopefully influx money that comes.
Yes. So on Oakmont Rec Center, the bathrooms, you guys, when was this done before, not last time? Wasn't it done in the renovation we did the last time?
It did not make that scope of work. I think there were some locker room renovations completed, but we then upgraded the showers themselves. So the walls were block walls. So we just did some upgrades to improve the aesthetics.
Are we seeing a noticeable increase in usage on those courts that were and renovated
After renovation,
after renovation?
you know,
I don't know that off the top of my head. I can check. Could probably get some, they're non-staff parks, so it's tough to, it's tough to measure that, but we can do it through AI.
exercise to do of, yeah, of going out and
Yeah.
looking. I mean, I think anecdotally. But I mean, it'd be a good exercise to get some photos of the before, and then after people actually utilizing that or having some.
Right.
Or actually, it'd be hard to study them all, but we could actually do a study of one, some cameras or something like that, to try to collect some data.
It would be good to know if we're making the investment and bringing those up to snuff.
We could probably run some placer AI data.
Oh, we can do that. yes.
Yeah, get the cell phone hits throughout there. Look into that.
There was talk a bunch of years ago about the fact that some of the courts that were, I think, in floodplains, that some of them are kind of in these kind of not high use areas. I remember when we had a budget discussion a while ago, that some of the community were like, there are some courts that just aren't used a whole lot. Which would be to the point to be taken into account at the front end. But I know that on some of the courts, you've been doing the kind of the futsal, I don't know what you call the goal, the
Multi-pitch where you have like you can play basketball, you can play like multiple,
right.
usually they're called multi-pitch.
So that, but with the multi-pitch in that process, how do you determine when you do that versus when you don't do that?
There's a whole guidebook. There's not. It's oftentimes it's sort of when you build, the hard thing about repurposing is it's like when you build it, so you look at a site and its basketball court is an F condition and the hoops are bad and they're bent, and so the whole thing's, nobody uses it, so let's make it something else. Well, they're probably not using it because it's not in high, really great condition. A lot of times it's a proof of concept, so we don't want to take out something in general, and so the few futsal courts that we have, they end
But
up
if you
being
do a
utilized.
combo, you're not taking out the basketball court.
We're not, exactly, so you don't know necessarily, it's the same question of when do you put futsal, we don't necessarily know in areas whether or not putting futsal is going to explode.
I guess
So
what
we
I'm
wanna-
asking is, there was a picture of a new court.
Yeah.
With a new net.
Yeah.
With, new backside. How do you make the decision, oh, I'm gonna replace it 1-for-1 with basketball versus, oh, let's put the futsal thing that you've talked about doing more of?
Based on use, based on
Yes.
observed usage.
Okay. So there's
And
not,
proximity to other courts, right? So if we think not being used a lot, but there's basketball courts within the vicinity, then we know we could probably look at futsal
I
and
know
we
it
look at
doesn't-
the community.
it doesn't take it offline as a basketball. I just
It does.
know there's been talk about that, and I was just curious about how you make the decision.
And in terms of, I think it's the opposite, coming at it from the opposite direction as to what you're saying. It's not so much when we're replacing it, we decide what we're doing. It's when we're looking at where do we need futsal? Like we're looking at a site selection for futsal. And then we look around at all of the basketball courts in the area of the lowest use, the D. And then we specifically say, okay, we're gonna make this one where we're gonna put futsal. As opposed to every single time, there's not like necessarily a question. It's because then everybody's like, why doesn't this be this? Why doesn't this be this? Type of conversation.
About the basketball. Futsal. Guess I thought the futsal court regulation ones were actually, I know there's like indoor and outdoor sizes and stuff like that, but I thought they were bigger than basketball courts. Are these ones that we are converting into dual purpose basketball, futsal, they actually smaller than the regulation dimensions?
So it depends on which one you're building, and there are about 14 different types of, there's court soccer, there's futsal, there's 14. A question of, there's FIFA, there's like 45 different, if you were to say what is played on a hard surface. In general, the one that we built in Stratton Woods was a futsal court, and then, but it's not a regulation basketball court, so it's not a full-size basketball court. So sometimes it's got 2 coops, but that's not, you would measure it, and it's not the regulation like sort of down and back. So it really just depends on what the footprint is of the site that you're building.
So futsal, the regulation size is bigger than basketball typically, is that right?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
So we are developing some that are certainly useful, but they're not actually regulation on the conversions from basketball to dual purpose.
I mean, a regulation basketball court is like a chunk smaller than a regulation futsal.
But usually when we build, right, but we're not, I don't think that we're building, generally speaking, regulation futsal.
Right.
We're
We're not.
yeah, we're
It's more
not. It's
community.
more community use futsal. It's indoor, yes.
And
Right.
that's where I was at, that was.
Right.
Which
what I
supports,
was-
which supports some of what's going on in the leagues where we haven't been able to do it in public schools, but we've gone to private schools and done it in indoor basketball courts.
Leave it. Build a point, but then you have to provide different experiences. So like court soccer, people want to play court soccer, like you want to provide some places, sometimes we don't want to build them all the same. Sometimes you want to have the baseboard, because people like to play off the board, which is indoor soccer, then which is not the open thing with the chain link that's, so there's, yes, we want to provide enough variety of experiences for hard court soccer, whichever futsal, court, whatever it is.
Wait till you get to hard court field hockey.
Any more
That
questions?
seems like I need.
Any more questions? Thank you very much, Kim. And I believe. that
Jonah has a question.
Jonah?
Online.
Okay, Jonah. Jonah?
Jonah, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. I just wanted to quick thank you to staff for the incredible amount of work you put in. And also, I really like these slides. I like the fact that it had before and after, and it gave us a really good snapshot, you know, over the course of many districts, what the conditions are and what repairs were made. And, you know, I just, so I just wanted to thank you for that presentation.
Thanks, Jonah.
Okay, so back to, my thank you, Kim, for the presentation. I think I neglected to thank Brendan, so he's still here. Thank you, Brendan, for your presentation.
There, I'll let him.
Is there or business for the park operation? Seeing adjourn the park operations.
Jonah, you're up.
Thank you. This is Jonah Toomey, and I call to order the Resource Management Committee meeting. And I think we've got Laura Grape. So over to you, Laura.
Great. Thank you, Jonah. We are just gathering here at the table. So, and I know we stand between you and dinner tonight, and I'm glad you saved all your questions for him. But we have a little bit of pro forma for you this evening. I'm joined tonight by Kelsey Atwood, our Archaeological and Museum Collections Manager, and Nicole Mitchell, our Waterfront Sites and Nature Centers branch manager. I'm going to turn it over to them in just a moment. But tonight we're presenting a recommendation to deaccession the Lake Fairfax carousel and horses that are currently held in our permanent collection. Deaccessioning is a formal process of removing the recorded or accessioned objects from our permanent holding, our museum's permanent holding. We don't do this very often, and typically it's more of an administrative responsibility for Jay, but because of the assessed cost of these items, we need to bring them before the board for your formal approval. But this whole process is a very normal, very ethical and very healthy part of any museum collections process. So with that, I'll turn it over to Kelsey. We're bringing this again forward as a formality, and look forward to any questions that you may have.
Yeah, great to be with you all this evening. So a little bit of background about these objects. We originally acquired the carousel in 1989 from a private dealer in Pennsylvania, and they were acquired for the purpose of park recreation rather than for their historic. I'm going to let you drive on that. Rather than their historic connections to the county. And in 2018, the master plan for Lake Fairfax shifted the focal point of that park from the carousel as a centerpiece to a gazebo. In 2022, the carousel had a significant mechanical failure. A core piece of the carousel broke, and so from 2022 on, it was no longer operable, and it is no longer on display to the public. It is currently in storage at Lake Fairfax. So in 2025, we identified it as our top priority for deaccessioning because of its not able to be used. It's currently in storage, and it fits our criteria for deaccessioning. All right, so a little bit more
Future
background.
pictures.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
December 26th.
Future pictures.
Go back.
Oh,
They were taken 12 months.
should say December 2025. It's the changeover in the years. Okay, so a little bit about the purpose and goals of deaccessioning. As Laura mentioned, deaccessioning is a normal but rare part of maintaining a museum collection. It can be initiated for many reasons, including a change in mission or focus, a refinement, and the condition or suitability of the objects themselves. So the Lake Fairfax Carousel hits all of those points. They are not original to Fairfax County's history. They do not fit our scope of collections, and the carousel as a whole is not in suitable condition for its purpose as a carousel. So to ensure the highest standard of the objects that do fit within our scope of collections, we nominate that this carousel be deaccessioned. And so how does that happen? Through the deaccession approval process. Objects are nominated by collection staff. I evaluate them based on our established criteria as defined by the guidelines for collections management, museum and archaeological collections. I submit that to Director Cole for her review and approval. And if she approves, I bring it to this body for your review and approval. And if approved, then the formal deaccession process is complete. So to wrap it up, we recommend that the Lake Fairfax carousels, which their identification number in our collections management system is 1989-05001 through 1989-05020, be permanently deaccessioned from the Fairfax County Park Authority Museum Collection.
What will actually happen to them?
If they are deaccessioned, I recommend that they be sold at county surplus, and the funds received from any sale would go towards direct care of collections or future acquisitions.
Do we really think somebody will buy this?
No, it's
Do.
Yes, no, they will absolutely buy the.
Yes, they'll buy the.
It's amazing.
But-
Yes.
Hey, guys, let me just break, I apologize. Let me just break in here. Does anyone have any questions for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, I can't see you, so, can someone else, Kyle, can you do the roll? Can you call?
Yeah, I can do that. Mike, do you have a question?
Mike. Mine's just radical. I'm all for it, whatever. Is it because the aging, how did this end up in a museum collection versus when other equipment breaks someplace else? I mean, it's not,
I think that's a fair question, Mike. This was accessioned many decades ago as part of the collections. I think it was with good intentions, but if we were to bring on a new carousel today from an outside agency, we would not accession it.
so
into
it
the
was a
museum.
session, like when it was operational.
It
Before
was
that.
accessioned when it was acquired in 1989,
Okay.
and that no longer fits our standard for accessioning today.
Right.
I was just confused.
Do we know its actual history and age?
We do. It was created by the C.W. Parker Amusement. It's cross-listed in our directory as also by the Thiel Manufacturing. One company bought the other. And we purchased it from, as I mentioned, someone in Pennsylvania. So I don't know how it was initially used before that purchase, but we know a little bit about its background.
You know, when it was.
That's what I was gonna say.
How old was it?
Manufactured.
40s, 30s.
I believe before 1955, but I can look up the exact date.
If I may clarify, the National Carousel Association census listed this as 1920s.
It really is an association for every goddamn
Okay.
thing.
So we'll edit that part for the record, but. So it's over 100 years old.
Carousels in general, so I think that, so carousels in general, the majority, they're not making a lot of the majority of carousels that you're gonna see that you go around are historic. The horses are historic, they're old, and they're not interchangeable. And so oftentimes you're not gonna take the horse and put it on the one at Franconia. So it's by manufacturer. So it's not strange to have carousel horses that are historic. They absolutely will sell, because some park system in Oklahoma has the only match to this, and the only ones that you can, for a broken horse, is to go and buy a historic
There's a
horse
collector
to put it there.
So, since they have some antiquity value, is there any way we can use this as art pieces throughout the parks, like individual orchids or something?
I think she's looking for the money to buy other art pieces for the park that we want. That would be my.
Or take care of the art pieces in storage.
Right, or take care of the art pieces that we actually want to keep here. She just wants some.
Any other questions? Consensus to me,
You don't have a question?
I mean, I do, but it has nothing to do with this item. Is your consensus, or Jonah, I don't want to step all over your toes. It's your-
Is this actually an item that we need to vote on?
Yes. we do.
Yes.
Okay, consensus to move this forward?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I don't know what the next step is.
The next step is where I'm gonna ask my question, now that we've moved that one forward. When are we gonna do the same thing for the one at Lake Agatek? That thing is a money pit.
I swear I tried. I'm sitting here, I tried to get him to not ask this question.
Well, there's
Are all?
there are gonna be other opportunities for us to be bringing forward items for deaccessioning from our permanent collection as we're continuing to review it. Because as we mentioned, this is a very normal and healthy part of what we do. And there may be other items that if they are included currently in what we call a session in our museum collections, we may bring those forward in the future.
But that one's being used right now, so this wouldn't do that process. Okay, fair enough.
To carousel or not to carousel is a different question.
Rick, one last question, then we're done.
So are all our carousels in the same position in the permanent collection, like just?
Not all.
Not all. Evidently.
Right, including the one at Lake Agatek, apparently.
Okay. That's all we need to know.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, hearing none, I adjourn the Natural Resources Committee.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
We
you.
are in recess until what, 7:30? Yeah, 7:30.
National Carousel Association.
We are back live. Back in session. Andy, do you have any speakers for us this evening?
No, we have no request for speakers this evening.
One admin item, it's the adoption of the minutes for the December 10, 2025 Park Authority Board meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Two action items. Action one is county-wide. It's the recommended approval of the Park Development Division's annual work plan for fiscal year 2026. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. And in the Hunter Mill District, action two is the recommended approval of the reaccession of the Lake Fairfax carousel.
So moved.
Any discussion?
I'd like to be on the personal. Records.
Okay, that is perfectly fine. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You got that? There's one vote in the negative on that item. We have three information items. Information one is the summer entertainment series update. Info two is the Fairfax County Park Foundation's FY 2026 meeting dates. And action three was the Fairfax County Park Foundation's FY 2025 audited financial statements. And all of those were heard and discussed during our December 10, 2025 board meeting. All right, Chairman's Matters. I don't have much this evening. One announcement, the January 28th meeting will be canceled for lack of items to come before us. So the next meeting of this board will be February 11th. I think I have that right.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing in 2 weeks, and then you all be back on the 11th. The only other thing, which is I think widely known by everyone, but not yet said by me, is that tonight will be my last meeting as both chairman and a member of the Park Authority Board. I'm taking a new job in about the only entity that would require me to step down from this board, going back to a staff position with the Board of Supervisors in the Providence District with check. It's been a lot of fun for the last 8 years. I've just completed my 8th year. Very grateful for the time and the opportunity to serve just as a park board member as well the last 3 years, having all of your trust and support as be able to serve chairman. It's been great getting to know all of you. It's been great doing a lot of work. I'm gonna miss all of you, gonna miss staff. I'm not gonna be far. Still gonna keep an eye out for us. See what we can do on the other side of the fence. Maybe I can be helpful over there. Looking forward to staying in touch, looking forward to seeing what good things happen with this board moving forward. So thank you all. Thank you to staff. It's been a great pleasure. Then I'll turn it over to Jay.
Before I start, I will turn it over to Allison. Because my first announcement is that I am taking her back. We don't get her anymore. She's now officially ours in the director's office because
I would like to introduce Laura Vaughn as our new board liaison. She started on Monday, so she will be reaching out to you all as you get emails about board things. I'll still be around, so obviously you'll hear from me too, but she'll be the one putting together the board packages.
Lose her email address.
It's in my job description, Jay. I've got to, the balance. Thank you.
Laura Parks, we unfortunately where's Kim? Poor Kim. It's the penalty for hiring well. We continue to pull people from park operations, so she was in park operations prior to this, so she's not a stranger to the parks. Thank you. All right, now I will. Okay, first item of business, we just want to let you know that we are in the process of working on a lot of tributes to the late Congressman Connolly. One of which is we're working with Congressman Walkinshaw, who has provided funds to refresh elements of the Jerry Connolly Trail to reflect Congressman Connolly's impactful legacy. So we're working on elements along the 41.5 mile trail that include new interpretive panels. That's the picture of the panel sort of up there. Some redwood trailheads. So when you come into park like Aiken Park, you'll see the Aiken Park and the Cross County Trail underneath, so people know where the trailheads are, which is really important. And a lot of wayfinding signs from the trail. This is one of those, you hear me scream from the rooftops and get on my soapbox about trails and how they're one of the most wanted and desired features in parks and the lowest really great fruits. Like for the amount of under $100,000, you can really make some significant improvements and upgrades. So we're looking forward to that. We're also working with the Connolly family. Kim brought one of the benches, sponsoring memorial benches to contribute to Congressman Connolly on the trail. The third thing that we're in the mix of working on is we are working on a potential earmark proposal for a little bit more substantial work along the Jerry Connolly Cross County Trail. They're working on a plan for and a submission, hopefully to get endorsed and supported by Congressman Walkinshaw. So a lot of things happening in general. That's a really great picture of Congressman Connolly. We're working with the family to make sure that, the interpretive panels can now be a little bit more posthumous in terms of the legacy. So we can change a little bit of the wording and really make it a phenomenal addition to the park system. So that's the first thing. We're hoping to get that done for Natural Trails Day. That's our goal. Sorry. Okay, favorite time of year, first hike. So here are some of the photographs that were chosen as winners for the first hike. Of course, my favorite category is Director's Choice. And so that's the Huntsman Lake. She's throwing the shard of ice, which is just great. I love watching kids do what seemingly is dangerous things, but carefully. So that is my favorite. There's definitely an adult right off of that photo and ready to grab. People's Choice from Nathan Kennedy and Huntley Meadows Park. You zoom in, you see a little berry in the mouth of that bird, so it's a really awesome picture. Judge's Choice, Mary Kate Gate of Riverbend Park. We really like the juxtaposition of the colors, that little shard of ice on the side of the river. Some other ones, Best in Show, wildlife photography. Sorry, Best in Show was one where he had the berry in his mouth. My bad. From Joshua Brick from Huntley Meadows Park. As you all know, we get some phenomenal wildlife photos from Huntley Meadow. Best in Show people, Catherine Gibney from Berkeley Park. We love the multi-generational aspect of this, and anything like my family trying to convince 11 people to do anything together is difficult in and of itself. So you get an award for Best in Show for people. Best in Show for pets, Parker Trasborg. We love the dog. You can kind of see the dog on top of the log. We zoomed in. The dog is absolutely on a leash. And so that is one of the first things. It's a extended leash, but the dog is on a leash. And then Best in Show Nature and Landscape at Huntley Meadows Park. You can't really see the colors, but the colors are really that cranberry and the sort of autumn colors in the middle of January. And then Staff Spotlight, which is a new category, goes to Paul Nicholson. He took that phenomenal photo at Fred Crabtree Park. Okay, we had a public meeting for Martin Luther King Jr. Park Trail Project. It was last night, January 13th at Gum Springs Community Center. We streamed online as well to update the public on the proposed trail project to Martin Luther King that leads to the water in the marsh. Public comment on the project can be submitted online at engage.fairfaxcounty.gov/FCPA-MLK Jr. until 5 p.m. on Friday, February 13th. Next slide. So we talked about the Olander and Margaret Banks Park last time. I had a conversation with Dr. Carter in the meantime, and what our plan is now is to bring, originally we were going to bring the park design concept to the Park Authority Board in spring. We thought we would continue to add context around the park design proposal. We think it's important to have both things together. So instead of bringing just the house, we're going to bring them both together to talk about the park design proposal March 2026, so this March. So we'll be coming with a little bit more of a concept plan to talk about how we plan on really celebrating and interpreting the family events. And here, we wanted to definitely say thank you to Kyle for his 8 years of service, leadership, and passion. These are some of our greatest hits. Photographs of his
including the
time
one where I look very terrified.
of the owl. I may or may not have made you do it, so it's fine. It's good. I love the one with you're talking to constituents. So one of these things are going to be on his calling card website or whatever it is when he runs for whatever it is he's going to run, because whatever wonderful thing Kyle is doing in his future, we kind of insist that one of these photos will be his like calling card in general. We had to put Ken in there because everybody loves Ken in general, but besides that, we try to focus on Kyle as our chairman. Got Conley down there on the right. I don't know what you're thinking about getting parks more money, and what you're in the bottom left. All of the ways it's very contemplative. In that picture on the bottom. No, I'm not done. And so see, you can't tell me what to do anymore.
We haven't adjourned yet.
So it's coming in general, and so we can't give you a, we'll be working with Tim to do an official, but you can't sign or say your own. So there's a little bit of a, but we did want to present, and you'll get one with the show on the bottom, a token of our thing. We insist that this be behind you, so that every time we're in Zoom meetings and you're asking us for specifics about stuff, we need to just be reminded of where your allegiance lies in general. So we will, yes, call you out on that. You have to stand up as you want to. Yes, and Tim, well, we'd like to, let's take a picture after this. We adjourn with everybody. We can take an official. Do you want to do another one? You're good? Yeah. Take one more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll get to keep one at some
Yes,
point.
yes, you will.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Some upcoming events, last thing, on Monday, we have MLK, it's the 19th, it's a wonderful day. This will be my birthday, Day of Service and Learning Day at Franklin Farm Park. We actually received a phenomenal grant from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation to help support that event and provide some food and other things for the volunteers that are going. So that's a last minute sort of very welcome addition. On Friday, the 23rd, we're very excited. We have a Dark Sky Education and Celebration event. We'll have more on that later. We'll be sending it out to you. I highly suggest that you come. I think it's one of Laura.
Yes.
You want to give me 2 sentences? Like totally out of the blue. Sorry, I don't want to mess it up.
No, no worries. So one of the things that we've been working on over at Observatory Park at Turner Farm is a designation for the dark sky work that we have been doing over there. And so we look forward to celebrating. We did receive a designation, and that announcement will come out tomorrow. But we hope that you'll come and join us. Not only will we be having a little bit of an opportunity to celebrate that designation, but we'll also be doing a night sky viewing as well, should the weather hold up. Regardless, if the weather doesn't hold, we will still carry on with the celebration over at Colvin Run Mill over in the Education Center. So I hope you'll join us. It is really a big accomplishment. And there were a number of important partners who will also be represented and a lot of volunteer work, including an Ellie Doyle Award winner from this last year who was instrumental in helping to pull that together.
So numbers, we're only like one of something suburban. So
oh, in terms of urban night sky designations, we are the one that's closest to Washington, DC. So it's a really, really great thing. And again, it has a lot to do with the improvements that have been made there at Observatory Park, but also things like the dark sky compliance work by the Department of Planning and Development and others. So it's a huge, huge thing for us. So come celebrate.
Thank you, Laura. Also in her shop, the 20th anniversary of the IMA program is happening at, IMA program in Torches Slot, Frying Pan Farm Park in Laura's. Frying Pan Farm Park on the 31st. You can register there for that 20th anniversary event. Saturday on the 7th and Saturday the 21st, we're having Black History Month events at Meeting House at Frying Pan Farm Park. That Meeting House will be open if you've never been inside. I highly suggest that you come and view it. It's the Meeting House is right on Centerville Road behind. And then on Saturday, January 21st, another very popular event is annual Lunar New Year's celebration, which is going to be at Twin Lakes Golf Course. That's kind of gets you up until probably our next board meeting. That's all right.
All right, round the horn. Jonah, you're up first.
Not a lot, Kyle, except to thank you for all your leadership and service to the board. We are going to miss you. We are going to bug you and keep in touch with us.
Okay, thank you. Abida?
I wanted to first say thank you to staff. Just from the presentations, you have been busy and we appreciate all you do. Kyle, you already know how I feel about you leaving us. So I will not repeat it here, but I did want to say thank you so much for your service to the board. You were one of the first people I met when I came in as the new one, and I appreciate all your help and support, and of course your leadership. So I wish you the best, because that's what I'm supposed to say in public, and soon. Bye.
Thank you. Mike?
Known each other for a long time, long before this, and I thank you for all your help, but I want you to give me I want you to give us a lot more help in your next job. So I look forward to working with you in that capacity for sure. You did for us.
Pleasant.
Thank you, Kyle. It's been a pleasure working with you. And like everybody said, don't forget us, and we'll try to give you more than 5 minutes next time you come here. Yes, I think it's gonna be.
Only does echo what Abena said. Thanks. And Mike, I think you summed it up very well also. And as you great, thanks for everything.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Jose?
Yeah, Kyle, it's, I think as one of the newest members of the board, and having here, like lots of transitions happening, but in a short time, it's been here, it's been exceptional to get to know you. It's not just fascinating as a chair, which I think I can just speak your mind, and you're able to command this room. There's lots of people that have so much tenure and do so many different things. And it's exceptional. And thank you for all.
Thank you.
Thank you for your friendship, for your leadership. I just leave you with a few words. Out of turn bond cycle. And we'll go fishing in the spring.
Only if I can do it.
Out of turn bond cycle. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Kyle. As one of the newer board members here, you reached out to me before our first meeting and he sat down with me. So when I came into that first board meeting, I felt I could hit the ground running. I really appreciate that insight provided. I also want to thank Jay and Sarah for their quick response for that little incident we had in each district at the start of the year, and we got that good percent. Thank you.
Dr. Carter.
Yes, sir. I, first of all, would like to thank staff for all of the excellent work they did last calendar year. And we're hitting the ground running this calendar year, and it's all going to be wonderful and exciting again. Now, for you, Kyle, I want to say it's really been great being on the board with you, your leadership and all. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is that you got back started on your dissertation. And so Evan and I bugged you about it, so you don't have to worry about us bugging you about it anymore, but.
That's the one that kept me motivated.
Okay, good. That's a good thing. We'll keep it up. Kudos to you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Surprisingly, I'm not sure there's anyone sorry to see Kyle leave than I. No, Kyle has been an absolutely tireless advocate for the Park Authority. Sometimes viewed by others as perhaps at the risk of his own reputation, but he is transparent, open, forthright, able to tell people, no, you're not going to get your facility until 2044. So we wish him all the best in your positions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Any other business to come before us?
Good picture.
We can do that after. Anybody, if nobody has anything else, for one last time, we are adjourned.
Oh.